never in a million years thought that I would leave my teaching career and be home. But I've learned to truly value the role of a homemaker. I think as women, we feel that if it's little, it's not worthy. And I feel as a wife, whatever you contribute, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's your energy, that's your contribution. And you should be proud of that.
I feel attacked. I need my sass back.
If you're doing it all from meltdown to task and still fighting to keep up that sass, friend, I've got you. Hey, I'm Deb, host of Sass Small Talk, the mental load of parenthood, season 2. As a mom of 2 smallies, navigating life with a neurodivergent family and my own neurospicy brain, caregiving for aging parents, and trying to hold it all together with grace, I know what it means to carry the mental, emotional, and invisible load of parenting. But here's the thing, we weren't meant to do this alone. This season, we're exploring the many faces of parenthood, from single parents to co-parents, blended families to chosen families, and everything in between, right here in our beautiful city of Victoria, BC, and beyond. They're sharing real stories of overwhelm, grief, imposter syndrome, breaking generational cycles with the resilience it takes to keep showing up. Real parents, real families, real stories, because it takes a village to raise a child and a community to raise their parent.
Darling, I need my sass back.
Do I look like I'm flying? No.
Welcome to Sass and Small Talk, the mental load of parenthood. I'm your host, Deb Bellino, and today we're going to talk about the silent struggles and reality of profound needs parenting with the homemaker role at the center.
Meet Rowena Brykin. Rowena's journey into motherhood has been one of courage, tenderness, and profound devotion. As a mom of 4, including a set of triplets, 2 with autism, 1 profoundly so, she's learned to balance high-needs care with the simple and powerful choice of protecting her peace and focusing completely on her family as a homemaker. Once a thriving businesswoman and a community leader, Rowena chose to slow down, creating space for advocacy, family dinners, quality time with close family friends, date nights with her husband, and moments of stillness in between the chaos. She is a pillar in her community, supporting other moms shining through her creative work in jewelry, perfumes, and her own podcast, Time to Sparkle, with Rowena Brykin. And now celebrating a milestone, becoming a Canadian citizen this past year. From the golden deserts of Abu Dhabi to the lush, rain-soaked coast of British Columbia. This is Rowena.
Hello, Miss Rowena.
Hi, Deb.
Welcome, welcome. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I admire everything you do. I think you're creating such a wonderful space for women, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, the honor's mine. The reason why we are wearing these beautiful fascinators, there is a story behind this. We're celebrating.
Woohoo.
We're celebrating. Our girl just received her Canadian citizenship, and I'm honored that I get to celebrate with you with tea, with this beautiful tea set from her village. This show is about celebrating our village.
Absolutely.
And you did that just by bringing this beautiful, beautiful set. And I'm trying not to take it home. It's incredible. But the fascinators are really just because we're fancy. You brought the fancy in me, the sparkle in me.
Absolutely.
She has a podcast as well. And what's this podcast called?
Time to Sparkle with Rowena Brykin. And it's all about celebrating who you are. We all have something unique. Sometimes we admire the big gestures, but everybody has something. And I feel it's time to sparkle.
I already sparkle just sitting beside you. I always start my guests off with a little bit of an icebreaker. Who sits at your table?
First off, it's my family, my big, bubbly, loud family. I have my 4 boys. They are 10 and 7. And my husband, my wonderful husband. And then, of course, the table extends. And I have my village, my community, my girls, my ladies. I miss my family. My family live in South Africa. And sadly, I don't get to enjoy aunties and uncles and grannies. So, yes, my role as a homemaker is layered.
It's layered.
It's layered.
I want to know a little bit more about Rowena coming in from the other part of the world and the why behind you coming and choosing Canada to be your home. But I do have to clarify one question. We consider you an expat. What does that mean?
Well, If I speak about being an expat, I cannot forget my previous home.
Mm.
So I was born in South Africa and raised in the East Coast called Durban. And when I was 23 years old, I moved to Abu Dhabi. And in Abu Dhabi, you don't get the honor of becoming a citizen as you do in Canada.
Okay.
So you are an expat, which is you are a guest in a foreign land. You don't really have the rights of a citizen in that context, but you can enjoy and you have responsibilities like the citizens do.
Okay.
So in this context, it means you've come from another place. You're bringing new layers and experiences and perspectives to a really beautiful, bubbly, diverse land.
Amazing. Now, when you say expat in this context, meaning expat here in Canada or
Mhm.
expat in Abu Dhabi?
That example that I gave you was Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Okay.
Can you share a bit of your understanding or experience of an expat?
Now I'm in the hot seat and she's the host of the podcast, which I'm totally okay with. I have to tell you, I feel so ignorant. And that's why I asked you. Well, I imagine expat, it's immigration. You are in another country and you are a citizen of another, but then you immigrate and then you choose to be a citizen of the one that, but that's why I got confused because you were
Right.
coming in as an expat
Yes.
into Canada, but you are
An immigrant.
an immigrant,
Mhm.
but you're Canadian before you became how did that
So
work?
how it works is you come in as a guest,
Okay.
but you really need an invitation.
Okay.
So in this context, a PR, meaning permanent residency, you're a resident now. So you have a card and you can benefit from everything that Canada has to offer.
Okay.
But you're not technically a citizen.
Okay.
So it takes a couple of years and you have to be here for a certain amount of time. Then you can apply for that status. There's a test. So you have to learn all about Canada, the country, the symbols. There's a lot that you have to know. Of course, understand the Indigenous people and the beauty of that history. And so we put in our time
You
and
sure did. You probably know more about Canada than most Canadian citizens.
it was an 8-year journey
Yeah.
from our first application in Abu Dhabi. And now we've immigrated and your country has welcomed us
You
with
mean
open arms.
our country.
Our
Our
country.
country. And that's why we're celebrating because we must welcome to your home. And thank you for clarifying that because honestly, I think we hear the word immigrant. And I know immigrant life very well for my parents, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have never met anyone in my age bracket. You're definitely not my age bracket. You're much younger, but to make the conscious choice to become Canadian, I've just taken that for granted because my parents made that decision for us and I was born here. So it's really beautiful to meet someone who can really appreciate our country and our community, know so much about it, and still make that choice to come here. But there is a deep meaning to you coming here. We'll get into that in a bit. I want to know who Rowena is through and through. What were some of your passions and interests? That's really a big part of who you are still.
So, yes. So I was born and raised in Durban, South Africa. As a little girl, I was always in front of the camera. I was a child model. I became a modeling instructor because I didn't really grow tall enough to continue on stage.
Height,
But
schmite.
we had the skills, and that was beautiful. I connected with young children and was able to help them to find their confidence and really shine. It was a time in my life I'll never forget. That was during the years that I was studying.
Okay.
And so that was how I kind of made money on the side.
Yeah.
And
Great job. Love that.
And I spent a lot of time in the beauty space, makeup counters and perfume counters. And I know we share that as well between us.
You love the sparkles. You love the
Absolutely.
sparkles. Yes.
And then I decided that I want to become a teacher.
Okay.
I knew that I had this nurturing side and I somehow communicate seamlessly with most people, but especially children.
You sure do.
And they have that innocence which really fills me. And so I pursued that career.
Oh, I love it. And this is before you had kids. Or did you continue teaching when you first had the kids as well? Or
No.
Okay.
No. So when I graduated, I worked in South Africa in a school that was predominantly refugee children. And then I had a friend, she came from Dubai and she was telling us that, it's such a wonderful opportunity. And she says, you're young, you have to go out and explore the world. It would be such a waste if you were to spend all your time in one place. Before you have a family, do it. I really appreciate her for doing that. And I encourage young girls to take that opportunity before you settle down, because there's so much that you can add to your life by just going abroad.
Absolutely. Traveling and seeing every angle
So
of
we
the
did.
world. Yeah.
I had a friend and we moved over to Abu Dhabi, started teaching there, kindergarten, first grade, and I was doing so well. And in my field, there's really 3 promotions.
Okay.
The head of a grade, deputy head of a school, principal, and then you've got to go into university maybe and be a lecturer. And so at a young age, I was able to become a coordinator of a grade and met the love of my life in Abu Dhabi.
How did we meet?
Well, there's my version and then his version. Okay.
Let's hear yours
But-
first.
I think we both will agree that we were out with friends. And in Abu Dhabi, everyone's young. There's a lot of expats. That's where people go and they've just established their careers and we bumped into each other and it was just amazing. I fell in love with that man's mind.
Oh,
He fell in love with my looks like
well, come on.
as you should.
As one should.
Yeah, but we spoke for hours and we just hit it off. And within a couple months, we said, let's go to each other's countries. My husband is from Belarus, which is in Eastern Europe. So his first language is Russian. I was the first brown girl he had ever met.
You represent as well. I love it. Oh, that's wonderful.
And so, yes, we dated for 2 years before we got engaged in Abu Dhabi.
Well, and did you start your family right away?
So we were married for a year and a half.
Okay.
Funny story. My maiden name is Christmas.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it sure is.
Oh.
25 December.
Why am I not surprised? I love that.
And he popped the question on a trip we were on in Berlin. It was wonderful.
Around Christmas?
On Christmas morning, it was so special.
Okay, that's kind of amazing. So you planned it around that. I'm going to propose to this woman on Christmas.
And he knows I love Christmas. He did.
Yeah.
And I still do.
Oh, I love it.
And so every Christmas, that special memory is a part of it.
Okay, we get engaged. We start our family. But what was the next step?
So engaged, married, and we were not planning a family at all.
Oh, you weren't?
We were not. No. We met at 23.
Oh, okay.
2 years later, we were still traveling the world. We were going all over Europe and just being in love and putting those locks and all those fences and all kinds of things.
I love that.
He had gotten me a charm for my Pandora bracelet.
Oh, yeah, the bracelet.
And the charm was the Statue of Liberty. And I still have the charm. And
You're
I still have
kidding.
not gone to New York because
Oh, we got to go to New
that's
York.
when I found out that I was pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
So it was not planned. We just got pregnant. And boy, did life change.
Because within that pregnancy, how many humans came out of you?
Absolutely. Triplets.
Triplets.
That is, news that I never thought I'd hear a doctor ever tell me.
Did it run in your family?
Twins. We
Okay,
have
twins.
We have quite a few twins.
Okay.
But triplets is a first.
Okay.
And we have identical pair
Yep.
and one fraternal boy. So
Incredible.
yeah.
So that was when we decided, did we put away our teacher hat at this point?
We were
temporarily?
still optimistic.
Okay.
I was a first-time mom. You have no idea what to expect.
Yeah,
But I was instantly thrust into the high-risk pregnancy category.
of course.
And you cannot imagine the fatigue. I would just pass out in the classroom. The kids would leave and I would just curl in my little library and fall asleep. And I thought, I must be sick. Off to the doctors, do the tests, all kinds of things. Long story short, ma'am, we think you should consider not working, perhaps. And I think in Abu Dhabi, they're a bit more confident to tell you such things.
Oh, okay.
A single mom, it's not really common there.
Right.
It does exist,
Yeah.
but my doctor obviously knew that we were married and asked a few questions and said, if at all possible, it's best that you just take it easy, focus on your
Wow.
pregnancy. It was a bit of a challenging pregnancy, and
Okay.
that's probably why. And so before I knew it, from my rising
Career,
career
yeah.
teaching, I was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, so right from the get-go. But you have that creative, beautiful mind of yours. Was that while you were pregnant? Was that in the first few years of the babies being toddlers? Or when did we start looking into your own businesses?
I cannot sit still. I cannot sit still. I become bored very easily.
Mhm.
So I also have a family who values productivity.
Okay.
So I've always tried to match my creativity with being productive.
Okay.
So if I have a fun desire to learn crocheting, I'm going to learn that crocheting and I'm going to monetize it. Monetize everything.
Where were you all my
Monetize
life?
everything.
That's the way to do it. So it wasn't a
right.
passion project or sweat equity here.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
became a businesswoman
Yep.
with this crochet
Yep.
beginnings. You just started it. I can do this. I can sell these things.
You know, the thing is, when I was younger, we didn't have a lot of money,
Okay.
but I wanted to do all the things.
Yeah.
My parents were able to put me through private school, and with that comes a lot of expenses. And my mom really put it on, our hearts and on our radar to make our own money. We would always be selling something or other. And I think that stuck with me. I don't feel ashamed to make a $10 here and there because everything adds up.
Are you
And
kidding? Yes.
so, then it becomes really not about the money, but it's just about that sense of accomplishment that you are creating something from within you and just enjoying that process. So whether it was creating natural products with essential oils, whether it was crocheting blankets for my children, my neighbors, my friends, perfume samples. I lived in Dubai and I got to experience the beauty of fragrance there, which is a whole new world. And so when I left all my goodies and I came over here, I realized there's no way for me to experience that. So let me share that knowledge with everyone.
I love it.
It became a business. So there's always something, and I love baking and I have all these South African recipes. And so I just put that out there and I get orders. So it's seasonal. It's seasonal,
but you are gifting our country, your country, our country with gifts that, yeah, you're right. It's not something that we can just find easily, and especially bringing your culture here and expanding on that, and then supporting your family. I mean, contributing to the support.
That's right.
So that also feeds your soul too.
Yes. Yes, that's right. I think as women, we feel that if it's little, it's not worthy. And I feel as a wife, whatever you contribute, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's your energy, that's your contribution. And you should be proud of that.
I feel attacked. You are in my brain. I needed to hear that right about now. Because you're right. If your contribution is small, it reflects that measurement-wise. But any contribution of love and art and creativity and passion that you put out to the world, you are giving back.
That's right.
To the world and to your family.
That's right.
So thank you for saying that.
And the reality of creating beauty is that it makes you happy.
Yeah.
And what does your family need? Your family needs you to be happy so that you can function at your best self, your true, authentic, best self.
My daughter actually said a few times, I don't really have grumpy days really, but I do. I have moments where I'm definitely not myself. And my daughter will go up to me and she'll be like, Mom, you need to start podcasting again. Because she knows that's where my happy place is.
That's right.
Right? Do I love paperwork and like release forms and all that fun stuff? No, that's not where my brain is, but I know it's part of it.
True.
But the second I sit down in this chair behind the mic and I hear stories, this happiness, it just bubbles up inside me and I bring it home.
That's
So I love how you say that. So when I introduced you, I talked about the role of homemaker being at the center. You are a homemaker through and through, but you also dabble with these businesses at home. So, a lot of women are doing these things and some give up, the fact that they don't see the return.
Mm-hmm.
But I love how you opened our eyes that there is a return to this. You come here, and what year was that?
2022.
And you came here with these kids. How old were they at this point?
My kids were 7 and 4 at the time.
Okay. And so that is a huge shift. How did they adjust coming to a new country?
Wow. Children are resilient.
Mm.
When you live in the Middle East, the summers are really hot.
Okay.
So you travel more than most would. Every summer you're somewhere, you're visiting your family back home or you're on another adventure. So the kids were quite accustomed to traveling. And then it's an expat life, meaning expatriates are everywhere.
Okay.
So they get to meet Australians, South Africans, British. It's a melting pot.
Right.
So in terms of meeting different people, they felt comfortable. Once they were in the school, they just slipped in. Really.
Oh, nice.
And we made it fun because what didn't change is our family unit, our values, the fact that we spend so much time together. That was constant and that was safe for them. And so they adjusted well.
They adjusted well. Okay, so let's talk about your parenting style. Connected.
Yes.
Is it like child-led, and are there freedoms from their perspective, or do you have boundaries? Do you have rules? How does that work in your
I
home?
think in every home, everybody draws from their own upbringing,
Right?
their own experience,
Right?
and even education. So just because you're raised a certain way doesn't necessarily mean you're going to mimic that.
Right.
There are going to be elements of that.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
know that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
It's a
also
challenge a bit though.
but there are also those mirrors that you hold to yourself. For us, we lead with nurture, connection.
Yep.
We really want the kids to have a good sense of self-worth, to be able to be reflective. But we definitely believe in discipline, positive discipline.
Okay.
We're not talking about punishment.
Yeah.
We're talking about reflecting. We're talking about having a structure, having boundaries. Because at the end of the day, when we go into the real world, we need to function well.
Right.
And so that comes with a lot of grace, a lot of talking, a lot of listening, but all in the lens of love and acceptance.
I love that. But you're creating this safe space for them.
That's right.
Now, there is reason that this is quite necessary as well. Let's talk about autism in your family. And to clarify, it's the twins that have autism. One is high functioning, one is profound.
That's right.
Can we kind of clarify? I mean, I understand, but I think for our listeners and our viewers, profound autism, what are the vast differences between high functioning and profound?
So the reason autism is considered a spectrum,
Yes.
it's autism spectrum, is that everybody has different needs, different challenges, and different abilities. And I think sometimes we focus on the challenges and we don't really focus on the abilities.
Yeah.
And so with profound people and individuals, they often, specifically with autism, have communication needs. And they very often cannot hold a conversation. They struggle to express themselves, but not to be confused with understanding. They definitely understand when you
Okay.
speak.
So comprehension is there.
Comprehension is
Okay.
there,
Okay.
but the expression and even the comprehension could differ from person to person. High functioning sometimes is the hero of autism because people feel, the kids have savant skills and it's almost it's the ones that you see on the television shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
But both have quite intense challenges.
Right. So, and what I'm familiar with challenges is when you see someone who has high functioning autism and visibly they look no different from the child next to them. The expectations of that child, well, actually for both, it's heartbreaking when you see a child be met with, well, that was weird. So like you said, it's celebrated. Oh, it's quirky, it's fun, but sometimes it's met with negativity, and that's I believe that our role as advocates is essential.
Yes, like you say, for some kids it's quite obvious, and for others, you discover it maybe in the first or second grade.
Okay.
Some earlier. I knew that my kids have challenges because they were triplets. The risk was so high that pregnancy had some challenges. And my kids were 11 weeks premature. So they were born at 29 weeks. That's right. So the risks were even higher. And being a teacher, I understand child development. It was part of my degree.
Yes.
And so I made it my duty to study the steps, the developmental milestones that I should be expecting. And so I was able to approach it with grace. And I really am grateful for that. Because for a lot of people that I've spoken to over the years in different support groups, it was a big tragedy when they discovered they went through so many stages of grief. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy. However, I had a longer period of time to accept and understand.
Right. And so you did experience the grief though.
Absolutely.
And did it feel like grief at the time? I never heard of grief over your child being diagnosed, grief as in like you lose the dream that you had for your children.
Right.
Did you feel that so deeply? And then by the time that you got your next diagnosis, I'm assuming it was later, did you find that that level of grief wasn't as much there, or did it double? I can't believe that we're going to have to face this now, or did you embrace it with open arms?
If we think about the source of a lot of that grief that some people experience, it often starts with themselves.
Okay.
We are often people pleasers. We often want to project a perfect image of our life. And this gift of having a child who depends on us shines a light on yourself
It sure does.
because it's not about you anymore.
Mm.
And for me, I had 3 babies. And for lack of a better description, there were many options going on at this, many things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was able to compare them with each other
Okay.
and understand where they needed support, not necessarily to, diagnose who's who and who
Yeah.
doesn't have what. I think a lot of the pain for other parents comes when you try to interact with other kids and you see that your child is different. That is difficult. And how people respond to that from their own insecurities can make or break your experience socially.
Rowena, I had to put a stop to play dates. Broke my heart. I'm a people person. I love my girls. I love getting together. And there's that comparison bias. There's that fear of what did she do now or what did we do now? And I did not want to correct my child.
Absolutely.
And at that point, we didn't have a diagnosis. I just always knew. But the medical field did not see it right away. Was this my imagination? Is this behavior? Like, what's happening? Is it me as a mom?
And society is just so cruel sometimes. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry you had to experience that.
They would say to their dad, oh, how was your play date? Oh, she choked me. No, my daughter just hugged and didn't know how to adjust her hug.
That's it.
And it broke my heart because once upon a time, I corrected that. I had to show that, well, I'm not going to be that mom.
Absolutely.
You're right. It's the outside forces that
It's
really
the
get
outside
us.
forces. Because if you look at how
Ugh.
you respond to those actions at home, you wouldn't even bother.
No,
We celebrate any word that comes out of their mouth.
100%.
Another parent says, she choked my kid. You're like, she hugged someone
She
today.
connected.
So your lens is completely different.
It is. And when it's
Absolutely.
influenced, that's the heartbreak right there. So I put the end to it because my daughter started, every time I reacted, it wasn't long, but it was enough to create an impact on a 3-year-old.
Right.
She'd be like embarrassed. I don't know what it was because she wasn't actually responding to the situation. She didn't know what she did wrong, right? It was my tone and my embarrassment. But then what I did, the correction would happen in front. There was a little bit of that, like you said, people pleasing. This is how I should be as a mom, I think. We're all learning, right? And then later I realized, no, I'm going to bring her to the side and talk to her. And I'm like, what am I correcting?
What are we correcting?
What am I correcting? And so I learned to model, like, oh, we're hugging now, or we're
So
holding
good.
hands. And then I will show her and we'll just make it more positive. But it wasn't clicking as quickly. So yeah, we brought it home and I became her playmate for a while. So you would make the adjustments because it was peaceful at home. Did you find that you have to do that?
You make the adjustments.
Yeah.
Your story, you had that bond with your daughter, which is gold for her.
We used to have tea parties every day after daycare and school. Yeah.
And
we
I
loved it.
love that so much.
Yeah. It was our thing.
That's what these kids need.
Yeah.
They need the social interaction.
Yeah.
If it means from the adults, why not?
Yeah.
My boys had each other.
Yes.
So it was so easy to just get
how
lost
fun.
in our own little,
You don't need
fun time.
Yeah, you didn't
Don't
have to worry
really
about
need
social. So you really didn't look for social outlets for them, or?
We always had somebody who had one child who was looking for a quick 3 friends. And we still do.
And you go, oh, that's awesome.
And so we had grace, in that way. But on the other end, because they're triplets, wherever we went, we were on a public stage. And people felt they had a right to come up and ask inappropriate questions. I'm like, are you asking about my birth? My birth. And so,
Oh, goodness. How do you meet those reactions and questions? Do you just do you humor them, or you're like, stop?
In the beginning, I would just call it out for what it was.
Okay.
And then I would do the reciprocal odd question so that they can see that they are in an
I
odd
love that you
question
do
zone.
that. That's hilarious. That's amazing. It
Yes,
stops them in their tracks.
absolutely. But
Yeah.
people don't mean harm, especially with older people. They're just so excited. They want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
share your joy. But it was so funny. Some tourists in Dubai, because of course it's, tourist capital.
Yeah.
They would just come and take selfies with the kids. Be like,
Oh, no.
no pictures. Yeah.
Okay, that's rough. Oh, that's too funny. I love that you share that because it's absolutely true. I mean, I have to say, when I see triplets, I'm like, wow, because it's not something you see every day.
Right.
But they're quite different. They're quite
Yes.
different size-wise, and personality-wise is different.
Absolutely.
So, that really stands out. But I do want to ask you, this is I'm curious about this. Have you heard of the glass child syndrome?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about that. With your child that does not have any diagnosis, do you feel as siblings there is a reaction to it, a discomfort, or learning to accommodate on their part at a young age. Did you find that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With the triplets, it wasn't as obvious for the first 3 years because, everyone's just been silly. But there comes a time where there are the social expectations.
Yeah.
And right when that happened, we had a fourth child.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. So when the triplets were 3.5, we had another child. So we had 4 under
Under
4.
4.
And it was
Bless.
it was a circus.
It's a circus. I was going to say, what word would you describe? Definitely a circus.
Organized.
Fun, very, very gorgeous circus, but a circus nonetheless.
Organized chaos.
Yeah, totally.
So many giggles.
Oh,
So much food.
so much food.
So much
You
laundry.
had to do a lot of laundry and a lot of baking and cooking.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And so, coming back to the glass child, how did it play out in our scenario?
Yeah, tell me about
The
that.
second pregnancy was a romance, and the baby had zero drama. And so, it's so easy for that baby to become the glass child
Okay.
more than the one triplet who,
Okay.
maybe doesn't have as much needs.
Okay.
And so as he grew up, became much more social. He gained a lot of the verbal communication skills that his brothers didn't have. So they were almost the same age, but he even being more mature.
Yeah.
And so the challenge in that is we want them to love their sibling with needs, but they are just trying to live their life. And you're like, but one day when I'm gone, it'll just be you. You can't say that, but you really want them to love.
Pressure. Yeah, yeah.
And so that was something that I was so concerned about. How would I instill that desire to be your brother's keeper without putting that pressure
Yes.
of parentifying the child?
So that's a challenge in itself.
That's right.
How many years did that take to really get to a point where it's okay now, it's all accepted, everyone knows the roles?
No, we're not there.
You're
We are
not there yet.
It's a work in progress
Okay.
because as they develop and mature, it's only through different scenarios and experiences that they realize how they could do it differently.
Yeah.
And when it happens again, oh, maybe I should be kinder. Maybe I need to be a bit more patient. But I see it as a gift. What a gift these children have to spend
100%.
the day and spend their whole childhood with a child who has no inhibitions, just enjoys and embraces the world.
Oh, I love that. You're so right. My glass child is 7 years younger. And the compassion, it's so funny. I have pictures of, speaking of choking, my daughter, there's every picture since he was a baby was him kind of like, and then her kind of like, she was so happy hugging him. They call that the cute aggression syndrome, and I just call it cute. So we have to adjust the arm hold, whenever, but she's just full bliss mode when she's with him, even to this day. And she's
love
a
that.
teen now, and he's often running from her, but at the end of the day, he loves being with her, and he teaches her boundaries. But when he goes to school, he's the one who plays with a child who, might not have all the friends at that moment. There's just this compassion that's built in. He was born into this world where he has to be compassionate.
Absolutely.
And we are caregivers for my parents. And I always feel so guilty. Like, I'm not giving you the attention. You're the glass grandchild now because you can function with ease. You can read on your own. You don't need me. In my brain, I don't say that. I'm like, you can kind of do it independently. And there's so much guilt there.
Absolutely.
And then I see him holding Grammy's hand without, oh, Grammy, I'll get that for you. The compassion,
That's
the
it.
empathy, and then teaching his sister. And not that she needs the teaching, but modeling it. And then she's like, well, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it, because that's how she
That's
learns.
just it. And that's what, children don't
beautiful.
listen to what we say. They
Yeah.
watch what we do.
Yes.
And us giving them a daily dose of loving compassion is the best form of modeling they could ever receive.
Yeah, and we don't even have to always be the one showing it, because they show each other.
That's
Well,
it.
that's the gift of having 4. You're seeing the whole gamut of, yeah, I love it so much. I 100% went off script because your story alone is just what I came here for. And we do talk about the mental load of parenting here in this season. We're talking about the mental load, and you're talking about the realities. And there is a load there because we are talking about the needs and having to balance and this and that and the choices. But we're not talking as much about the struggles, the hard times for mama.
Mhm.
And we don't have to dig deep into that, but I want to know how you cope when you have those days. And the choice of making Homemaker as your role, the main role being at home, And I remember we talked about this when we first met. When we first met, it was like meeting my twin. Speaking of identical, we sat down. What? One of your best friends' name is Rowena? One of your best friends' name Debbie? We had all these comparisons. The fact that I found my people when I'm talking to you, finding someone who loves her family so fiercely, but also loves creativity and who wants to provide, but also wants to create, finding that balance, right? I am tired of just freebies and doing things just for passion too. I want to be able to feel rewarded and I can give it to my kids and we could share a meal together. And like those things are important too. What are some of the tools and resources and coping that you did when times weren't so easy?
So for me, my struggles have come in waves.
Okay.
Different stages have brought on different levels of intense worry. Definitely worry. When they were little, the physical load of having to care for 3 babies.
Yeah.
The lifting, the putting down.
Oh, I'm not even thinking about that. That's right. What do you do with these 3 baskets?
And the pressure of providing milk to all of these babies.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that too. How did this happen?
I'll tell you, in Abu Dhabi, it is possible to have help.
Okay.
And we had the opportunity to have a live-in helper.
Okay, wonderful.
Which was our nanny. The first one was not successful.
Okay.
She did not cope. She could not cope. And in my opinion, I made it real easy for her. She didn't even wake up at night. But that made me realize, the strength of a mother and what we can do with 20 minutes of sleep. I learned to survive on 20-minute naps. And during that season, I would walk. I would put those babies in those strollers and just walk them everywhere. But I had to play it by ear with the naps, and it was a whole big production.
So they didn't always nap at the same time. You had to play around.
I did. I made them,
Incredible.
follow the same schedule. So that's how I survived. But back then,
yes,
exactly. But it was very isolating. And every mother knows that newborn phase when you are just knee deep in motherhood. And so I created Mama Unicorns, which was a platform that was space, an online space, where I gathered all of the isolated moms and we would do online.
This was all online.
We would do online Mask Mondays and tea parties, and we would just pick a time, plug it in the calendar, and just send a picture of us committing to have some self-care moments. So that was really the first part of what later became Time to Sparkle with Rowena Brykin.
Oh, I love that.
Reach out to community. You cannot stay isolated. Your mental health depends on you connecting your nervous system with someone else.
100%. We have to be each other's safe nervous system.
And as they got older, and then we moved over, I didn't have help. And I haven't had help for all these years. So it's a team effort. My husband is on the ball. There are no gender roles and you can't do that. And I mow the lawn. He can cook dinner. We fill in the gaps.
I love that.
I have learned to love my garden. I love flowers. I feel like it's nature therapy.
That's your 5th baby, right? It's your 5th baby. I love it. Okay.
And more than anything, I love my front yard to be gorgeous. And when I sit there and people will walk by and start talking and everybody has something to say, and it's become this little sanctuary place in our street where I can pour in and everybody can receive from the beauty of the flowers.
I am going to sit at that lawn. I'm like, who's that crazy lady? I'm new to the garden. I'm new to the community. I'm here. I love beautiful things as well, but I don't have as much of a green thumb.
This is it. Not everybody, I wasn't born that way. I literally went online and learned.
Oh, you taught yourself.
Taught myself. And I love learning new things. I'm obsessed about learning new things. And so the plants are different here. And it was a whole big adventure. And then I was like, I cannot contain this beauty. Let me paint it. So I started painting.
I am trying really hard not to diagnose you right now.
Yeah, no, neurospicy all the way. All the way.
I love that.
And I think that having kids on the spectrum definitely holds a mirror to yourself.
It really does, doesn't it?
And, we have to think, what is the purpose of getting that diagnosis? To get support and services. And so I feel if we see the signs, we should get some help.
Yeah.
Are we going to therapy? Are we getting our bodies in order?
Yep.
Are we eating healthy? Are we getting enough sleep? Are we taking our vitamins? And I just turned 40 and I'm really learning that my body cannot function on that full on survival mode that I was in when the 10-year-olds were babies.
Yeah, fight or flight, not good, not
Absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
I love that you really advocate for seeking support, delegation, community support, friendships, like even online. I love that.
Yes,
And then your garden is your own therapy as well.
absolutely.
You know,
I believe that we have layers to
Yeah.
us. And on my soul level, I needed to find a community there as well because I feel like that was my foundation.
Mm.
And so I joined women's groups at our local church. And some of those friendships I still enjoy to this day. I've lost some of those women to cancer and other diagnoses.
I'm sorry to
And
hear that. Yeah.
thank you. And that changes you too.
Mhm.
You really learn to appreciate life. You don't take yourself so seriously,
No,
but you also don't want to just drag yourself through life. You need to live with intention and feel worthy to do so.
absolutely. And we need to wear fascinators too.
Absolutely.
I love this because you brought this. I have to just say on the side that it was this wonderful woman that brought this fascinator in here, and she decided to match my brand, my jacket, and I never even thought about it. But I love fascinators. I haven't worn one in years, and she's like, "Do you want to do this for fun? For fun?" I want to live in this thing. What are you talking about? But I never even thought of wearing it here and to celebrate. I think doing things just so uniquely ourselves and celebrating being able to not take life so seriously
That's it.
because everything else is serious. Filling out 10 pages of special accommodations at school, that's serious.
Yes.
So much work. Bringing your child when they're having a really hard day, 3 hours of co-regulating. That's
That's it.
serious. We need to have fun.
Have to find the
Yeah.
joy. We have to find the joy.
Yeah.
Because whether we're going to doctor's appointments, therapy sessions, driving up and down, being on standby for if your child's having a meltdown in
Ugh.
school, those things can really weigh down on us.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to look at the chapter we are in our lives
Yeah.
and find the beauty.
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought that I would leave my teaching career and be home. But I've learned to truly value the role of a homemaker in creating an atmosphere of peace and love in your home and finding cute little ways, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Elf on the Shelf or Angel on the
Yeah.
couch.
Angel on the couch. Yeah. Love that.
So yes, I agree. Beauty is everything.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, though I find a little creative. For me, it's dressing up. For Halloween, it's our way to just pretend as a family in a thematic way, because it's always thematic, to just not have our everyday all the time, because it's heavy. We have a lot of heavy stuff, and it's not just the needs, it's our circumstances sometimes. And to just get away for a second and wear something crazy and a green wig and all this, and it does bring us to another place. And I think that creativity and having fun is it's key. It's magic right there. I have to ask you to bottle up one motherhood moment, thought, sentiment, emotion, but moment that sums up parenthood and motherhood for you. What would that be?
The moment my kids were born, all four of them, but the one that stands out for me the most is the sound of the first cry. Because that is a moment you realize that you have brought life into this world. And there's something about your heart that cracks open. And you understand in that moment that for the rest of your life, you are devoted to giving that child happiness and showing them their worth. And so for me, that cry, it stays with you. I'm sure if any mother closes their eyes, you can hear that first cry.
Yeah.
So yeah, just think selfless. That's a selfless moment where you're just going to give. But again, you cannot give from an empty cup. So if I know that I have to give, what am I doing to fill myself?
To fill your own cup
So that I can
first.
pour over.
I love that. And that's why you have so much in that cup to pour, because you do prioritize, in ensuring that your nervous system, your peace is protected.
Absolutely.
And then so when you hear that first cry, it's like music to your ears instead of fear or anxiety.
Yes.
it's-
And you only get it once you go through
Yeah.
that low time.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like to be
Yeah.
completely lost, to be overwhelmed, to be burnt out, to be done. And it's like, so, well, what next? Nobody's coming,
Yeah.
and I don't have the luxury of family around me. So I'm responsible for that. And even if you do have your family around you, you are responsible for your happiness. You cannot put that on your spouse,
100%.
your friends,
Yeah.
on your kids. we have to do that.
We have to do that. And then making the choice, the conscious choice to connect to the community.
right.
That's still you, but then you're drawing from that community and drawing from your kids' energy by welcoming it instead of
That's it.
dreading it, or instead of
But
it's still your choice though. Yeah.
I do want to make a note about stretching ourselves thin.
Okay.
Because as much as we want to add these layers to ourselves and it makes us so interesting, you have to understand your capacity.
Mm,
And I think as we grow older, as we learn more things, our capacity expands and we add facets to our diamonds. But I think you have to be able to say no. No is an answer.
oh wow.
No is an answer. Why do we
Full
feel?
sentence. Yeah.
Thank you. No is a full
It
sentence.
really is.
Why do we feel that we have to explain? Do we think we're not worthy of just protecting our?
Well, yeah,
our
and it's seen
energy?
as selfish in some ways, and you feel like I have to over-explain. I have to go into these long explanations. You're so right. It's no is a complete answer,
Absolutely. We cannot be pleasing the
and
world.
you don't have to justify it to
Not at
anyone.
all. Not at all. And so there's so many times that people have approached me and people see you larger than you see yourself often. And it's a beautiful thing. We have to understand our limits so that we are not dishonoring our commitments to people.
Exactly. Saying yes, you feel like you're dishonoring your friends, but it's worse to overcommit and then underperform and
So true.
yeah.
But that also speaks to a very important thing about friends. Let us just talk about friends.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to let it go. And when you feel it in your gut, you already know. We have to walk away. We cannot be surrounded by toxic relationships.
Yeah, and to be
toxic
okay with
expectations.
ending relationship that's seasonal, and it's okay to have people in your life
And
in
we-
certain seasons.
And we let them go with love.
yes,
Because when you let them go, you create a space for something beautiful to come in.
yeah, 100%. And you're creating that memory that you played a wonderful role in my life. I played in yours, and it's not really there anymore, and it's okay.
That's right.
Give ourselves grace. I love that too, because this mentality of pleasing everyone that could be very damaging
Yes.
to ourselves.
Especially when you're talking about a family with neurodiversity.
Mm,
You absolutely have to have friends who understand that. And I would dare say friends who are willing to go and learn more.
yeah.
Go and take the time to study, get literature, and offer some true support.
We have so many resources. You just click a button these days.
Absolutely.
I have beautiful, beautiful friends that I grew up with. They don't get to see my challenges at home. I don't want to say challenges, but the reality, like why I can't always be on the phone and I can't, connect. And I always apologize. I don't apologize. We get it. And they go online and they learn more about autism, and one even joined. She calls herself Rowena, but so I'm trying really hard not to call you Rowena. But she actually joined the autism network in her city
Wow.
in honor
That's a
of my
friend.
daughter.
That's a friend. I love friends like that. And those are the people you know that you can trust, because that's one of the hardest things for us. We are burnt out because we cannot trust anyone. Everybody else has the luxury of sending the kid over for a play date and you catch 2 hours, while they're at a birthday party.
Yeah,
We are 24/7.
yeah,
So you have
Doesn't stop.
friends that you can trust,
yeah.
even if it's just 2 hours,
Oh, 100%.
is life.
Like yesterday was really a tough production day. I've lost my voice if you haven't noticed. I found it difficult to find someone I could say, hey, come with me. I can't do this alone this particular day, because my husband usually takes the role of assisting. You get a little taste of how he does support and serve and pull a cart. And then I called on my friend and I just said, you want to hang out with me? And wouldn't you know, she comes here and she's the one like doing my hair, sewing something on my pants. And that's not what the plan was. But she just immediately went into this humble servant mode where she's like, I'm just going to support you and you just tell me what to do. And I'm like, no, I just want you for emotional support. No, you need me to sew
Yep.
this so that you
Let
can
me
do your
be
makeup.
practical. Yeah. Let me be practical.
I'm like, whoa, I might be replacing George with you, because George's not going to be sewing any buttons on my pants. But it was just incredible to be able to lean on the village. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
And the right village.
Absolutely.
So I think that's amazing. Now, we're just going to take it to another level of speed, and we're going to call this the fast round. Spill that sass, because we're talking about spilling the tea. We're going to get to know Rowena. Just one last chance here to get to know you with a quick round where you just have to tell me the first word that pops up when I ask you the question.
So,
Okay. Are you ready?
let's go.
Okay. One word to describe your parenting style right now.
Mm. talk.
Talk.
A lot of talk.
A lot of talk.
Mhm.
Okay.
I need to hear these kids. I need to hear their hearts so that I can establish the routine of just sharing.
So you can get them the connection
The
piece.
only way that we can understand.
Love it. What is a parenting hack you swear by?
Oh,
Just one. And it has to be the one.
well, I'd have to say organization.
Okay.
Yes, everything is type A organized.
Okay. I'm coming to your house for some lessons. This is where the teacher comes out.
Yeah.
Do you have matching bins and stuff? Do you have all that stuff?
Names on bins. We're living out of a cupboard of bins.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I can't always achieve that, but I have a little version of that, but it always gets messed up. I got to fix that. You got to come over and help me out with that. Okay. One thing you've learned to let go of.
Oh, people pleasing.
That was
Bye.
fast. That was
Immediately.
fast.
Immediately.
Because that was a big one for you.
Mental load. Overload. Mental overload.
We got to go for coffee after this. What would be in your go-to bag if you were stranded on an island with all 4 of your boys and your wonderful man? What would be in your go-to bag? Let's add your village in there, your besties, right? The aunties, okay? You can only bring one thing. What would that be in your go-to bag? One thing.
A perfume.
Oh, stop it.
Bottle of perfume.
Okay, and for those who can't be here with the sense of smell that I get to have the pleasure of, she smells amazing. So you say perfume over a first aid kit,
Nope.
over food,
Probably-
perfume.
I might not make it. I need to go down smelling amazing.
Smelling good, right? Come on. When they find you, they'll be like, oh, this is Rowena. Okay. Hey, in all fairness, you could feed yourself on this island. I didn't say there wasn't food there to, forage. Come on.
Exactly. There's so much you can do with perfume. That's glass. There's a bit of poison. Smell amazing. You can find me. A tracking device.
For the search parties out there,
Let's
please
go.
know she's making life easier for you.
Start a fire.
Sorry.
Possibilities are endless.
Perfumes. Oh my gosh. I love it. I'm going to be stuck on an island with you. That's for sure. Okay. I have a scenario and I want you to answer very honestly. Are you ready? You are hosting a mom dinner, coffee, a circle in your living room, your beautiful living room. Let's say your garden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of your triplets is melting down. Another one is tugging at your jewelry, wants to play with it. Or maybe one of your little ones is like, I want to go on the computer. I want to play digital time. So there's lots of stimulation. And then you have another friend. I'm struggling. Come talk to me privately. Because I know how you accommodate to your friends, right? You do.
Yes.
And you got something on your stove.
Mm-hmm.
You're baking something for these girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Starting to burn a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your go-to? Where are you going first? Oh my.
Immediately the burn.
Okay. We're going to go to.
We can't start a fire. Once that's taken care of,
Okay.
it has to be my kids.
And the kids.
My
Kids
are
over.
First.
Okay.
Are first.
I'll remember not to have a meltdown in your house when I come visit.
You got to make sure that they're peace, because if they have a meltdown, that's going to trump my friend's meltdown immediately.
This is true. I think it'll keep everyone at peace when we can, co-regulate with our kids first. It's hard to co-regulate with an adult.
Absolutely. But,
So,
that's such a great example, because that's the metaphor for everything.
It is.
Safety,
Yep.
kids, and then
yeah, safety, family,
next.
and then everyone else. I love that so much because it is easy to just kind of say, at that point, I probably, this is my honest answer, I would delegate someone. I'm not the one crying, but I go, friend A, can you go get that
That's smart.
stove?
That's way smarter.
Well,
Way
maybe,
smarter.
but I am motivated by noise and panic. And so I would panic first. You sound like you would handle it very calmly.
Oh, yeah.
And you would go and you'd peacefully grab the kids and say, let's settle this down.
Yeah, I feel I hear that often.
Yeah.
That I have this calmness.
Yeah, you do.
And I think it's maybe partly teaching, because you really can't lose your mind on somebody else's kids.
This is true.
And so when
Even
you
if we'd want to, we don't. Yeah.
and yeah, the response isn't always immediate, but calm always brings calm.
I love that. So, Miss Calm, Miss Unicorn, Miss Sparkle, where can we find you? Where can our viewers and our listeners find you?
Well, I have been in hibernation for a couple
Okay.
of years trying to get this citizenship in order. But thanks to you, you have reminded me of all the wonderful things that I have to offer.
This is not
And
thanks to me.
And now that I have this beautiful passport in this beautiful country, I am ready to shine and share and participate in all the
Yes.
things. So I am on YouTube, The Time to Sparkle with Rowena Brykin.
Okay.
This is my interview platform. I'm also Mama Brykin on Instagram, where I just share my family joy. My hope is that if ever they say, you're a bad mom, I'll be like,
Click on this link.
there you go. You had a great life. No, I'm kidding. It's just wonderful to remember.
Yeah, I love
Yes.
that.
And then I do my perfumes on TikTok, and I'm everywhere.
You're
You know,
everywhere.
you'll
You
find
really
me.
are. She's global. Come on. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just want to thank you for coming on here. I'm very humbled by your vulnerability, your honesty with everything that goes on with having multiples and choosing a life that's focused on home.
Yes.
There's always like striving for this, striving for this. You're really centered. You've reminded me that I made the right decision as well.
Absolutely.
And whatever contributions we make is a fair contribution.
That's right.
And to give ourselves grace.
That's
You're holding a mirror onto me as well. So thank you for that.
It's my pleasure.
So we're not going to cheers technically because we can't do that. We are going to just lift our glasses. And I'm just going to say, okay, what's the proper way to do this? For those of you who are listening, we're lifting our teacups. You'll hear the clinking. And we're just going to, do you cheers when you do tea? Is that not etiquette?
Not necessarily. I mean, you do what you want to do. But for me, I like to do a little nod.
Nod?
And
then
we
sip.
drink.
So
And
nod and sip.
that's it. No pinkies.
Did you hear that? No pinkies.
No.
I almost put my pinky up. My pinky was dying to come up.
Yes, etiquette is a whole new world.
I wanted to do this as a celebration for you entering this country and entering our lives. And you and your family have brought a gift over, not just sharing parts of your culture, but just sharing you and motherhood and like opening that space for the rest of us to join in.
Oh,
I expect that to be not a thing of the past. It's going to be something I'm going to click on right now. So I'm very
absolutely.
excited. Please follow this wonderful woman. And for those mothers and fathers out there, caregivers who are really just trying to make decisions to
Yes.
focus on family at home, do it.
I mean, I would just like to say, just to remind everyone, we are not given a choice to the life we have,
Yeah.
the family. You can choose your spouse, so choose wisely. But we do have a choice on how we respond to that
Yes.
and the space we create for our families. And so, whatever circumstances led you to being a stay-home mom, the
Mhm.
most wonderful job in the world.
It really is.
It's a great job.
Yeah.
It's
Own
a
that
great
job.
Yeah.
That is a job and own it. Absolutely. So for you parents out there who are trying to make this decision about being home with our families and prioritizing our peace, prioritizing your children's needs and being there right in
The front row.
the front row of your own life, right? We hear you. We see you. You are not alone, obviously.
You're
Right?
never
And
alone.
this is from every part of the globe. So we welcome you with open arms. We're making space for you. And I thank you for joining us here on Sass Small Talk, the mental load of parenthood, because it takes a village to raise a child and a community to raise their parent. We'll see you on the next episode of Sass Small Talk. Bye.
Bye.
Oh
my gosh.
I'm going to hug you. I love you. You are just amazing. I can't believe it. Get here. Oh, mother.
Thank you for having me. I had so many blunders. That's what I do on my show. I just
Yeah.
blank and I'm like,
I need my sass back.
Signing off. See ya, guys. Bye. Signing off. See ya. Bye.